Hey YouTube friends, this is Fossilsaurus. I'm coming at you with a non-fossil, just informative video. This is something that is a pet peeve of mine, that it's been a pet peeve of mine for a long time, that pretty much everybody is guilty of. I think I'm generally not guilty of anymore. I try my hardest. Now it is based on the size of animals. Everybody is interested in how large an animal can get. Everybody wants to know how big T-Rex can get, blah, 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 blah. Well, everybody says they get as big as, or they can get up to, or ... But that's ridiculous. That's absolutely wrong. If you think about it, if you look about it, statistically, every animal that we ever find from fossils absolutely has to be within the range, the average size range of an animal. If you think of how few animals get fossilized, now these are arbitrary numbers I'm picking out of the sky. I could be way off, but my point stands because even if I'm way off, it still gives you an idea of how crazy high the numbers are. So let's say any species that we know of from just fossils, out of any species, the amount of animals that get fossilized is like 0.00000000001, whatever. Now, think about how small of a number that is. Now, then, on top of that, you have to go to what fossils survived, what fossils end up in an area that we could find them, what ones of those end up being sites that we find, and then if we found the animal from the site. So you take that 0.000 whatever number, and then you have to multiply it by also 0.000 whatever. So you come up with a number that's 0.000, okay, ridiculously insignificant. So mathematically, that means that everything, like just statistically, the very, 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 very large majority of any species is going to be within the average range. And when I say the majority, I mean the vast majority. Mathematically, to the point where everything that we find has to fall within that. It is literally possible that we could find a specimen that was above average or below average, but looking at it as a statistic, it's really impossible. So everything we find is in the average range. Now, if you look at humans, the average size for men, women, race, continent, country, whatever, altogether the average is 5'9". The average range goes up, I believe, to 6'1" or 6'2". I believe just 6'1". So that would mean that the low end would be 5'9", and so that would be like 5'6" or something like that. So you look at that as the average range. Almost everybody fits in that range. There's still some people who are above that range, but it's very small comparatively. And then when you look at the largest, the average size is 5.9, and then the largest person ever was 9 feet. It was actually 8 feet 11 inches and change, so 9 feet. So look at the size difference between the human average and the highest. It is a massively significant amount of difference. So if you go with a T-Rex that's 42 feet, known to be like 42 feet max, I think, you can, and this is all statistically, and statistics are mathematic accuracy, mathematic truth. 42 if 42 is the average, or within the average, you can say this animal definitely got 50 feet. 50 feet might be above average, but it's going to be a little bit above average. It's going to be like, it's not going to be super high. It's not going to be close to the largest one ever. And you can probably say, and these numbers are impossible to find out. We could take modern animals and humans and do studies on that and get general information for modern animals, but we can never get the exact figures for extinct animals. So it is just speculation, but it's accurate speculation. You could probably say, you could guess probably pretty successfully that if 42 feet is an average size for a T-Rex, that they could get up to 50 feet easily. You could probably have you could safely say that the largest one ever got 60 feet or maybe even a little more. It may have been lots more. It may have been 70 feet for all we know. But what you can say is that it was significantly more than the 42 feet that we know of now. Now, I've only very recently, in one case, I have very happily heard of this being touched on by science, and it's with this giant new ichthyosaur found. The ones that we found, there's 2 specimens, and they have come to the conclusion that the individuals are probably, it's either like 83 or 86 feet. But it is widely accepted. I don't know if it's the more prominent, I don't know if most people think this, but even if it's not, even if it's less than 50%, it's got to be like 49%. Like it's possibly the most accepted theory. If it's not, it's got to be like the second most accepted theory, that these ichthyosaurs got about as big, if not bigger, than blue whales, which get about 100 feet. So 2 specimens that are going to be about 83, 86 feet, these people are now saying that the likelihood that this animal got, well, they're saying that this animal got much bigger for sure, and they're saying the likelihood that it even broke 100 feet is very likely. So this is the first time I've ever heard this factoid being addressed, and I'm so happy about it when it did, because if you look at any other video, anyone anywhere, they always say they get as big as, or the largest is, or up to, but nobody can say that. They have to say, as far as we know, or are known to get up to, or it has to be stated with a grain of salt. It can't just be definitively saying that, like, this is their size. They get this big. Because they don't. They get much bigger. And I think it's a very cool thing to me. And I think a lot of people would find this absolutely awesome. Because everybody loves big animals and wants to know how big an animal can get and wants an animal to get bigger and so on. And that's exactly what this is. And it's not just showing that animals definitely got bigger than we know them to have gotten, but much bigger. Now, I heard a story or saw a story or something saying that T-Rex might have gotten 90% bigger than we think. That's got to be ridiculous. I would bet anything that they don't come close to getting that much bigger. Or even, like, I think it might have been 60% bigger. Like, I think that is stretching it to a huge degree. Like, maybe 30% would be a fair guess. Maybe 40, maybe 45. I think that might be pushing it. But again, there's no way to really know. All just total speculation. And the best way that, one of the best ways to do it, and that I'm using, is just going by humans and just using that general kind of range. But I don't know how many people think about this. It seems like it's the kind of thing that people don't generally think about or don't really know. And I hope that's the case, because I would be so happy if I was able to point this out to so many people. But if people do already know about it, I hope that I've brought it back to your attention, or kind of like gone more into it. But again, I think it's important, because it is one of, I think, people's favorite things about these extinct animals is how big are they, or how big were they. Everybody wants these things to be bigger and badder. So finding out that these things can get 20, 30, 40% bigger than they were, that's got to make so many people so happy, and it's got to just mind blow so many people. So this is something that's bothered me for a long time, and I've thought about making a video on it, but I just never got around to it. But I'm glad I did now, and I hope that you guys liked it. I hope you guys watched the video, and I hope you guys really got something out of it. Thank you so much for taking the time and watching. If you guys like this information, if you guys think it's cool, if you didn't know about it and I just pointed about it, please give me a like. Let me know. Let me know how many of you I really opened your minds up or really made happy about this. So I would love subscriptions. I'm really trying to get to a point where I can give stuff away and do raffles and things like that. I definitely can't afford that on my own. I feel weird putting up a Patreon, but that would be the only way I could do anything like that. So I do have a Patreon up in case anybody is interested. I think at first I would just do giveaways for the first people who subscribed and liked and stuff like that, and then I would start doing like raffles and giveaways and things like that weren't just based on first come, first serve. But I don't really expect anything. I don't really expect that to go anywhere, but I'm crossing my fingers, because if I could just get that going, I think that would be great. I think it would be really fun. I think a lot more of you would take a lot more interest in my videos and would like them a lot more. So yeah, I mean, I don't mean to go into that and push that so far, but I will have Patreon up on the page, just in case. So, well, thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.